I'm Tony Haynes, and this is new NC State offensive coordinator Matt Canada, and we're going to talk offense and the future of the Wolfpack offense. Let's talk about the running game first. It's essential to what you've done in the past. Michael Turner, great running back, now flourishing in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, Monty Ball this past season won the Doak Walker Award as the best running back in college football. You've had a lot of success with these backs. What makes for a great running back in your system?
Our system is, we want to be productive in whatever we do, running and passing, but certainly you talk about those backs, and there's been others in our system, they have an ability to find the hole, they have an ability to make those special cuts, but ultimately they're physical guys who'll run it downhill, who find a way to get those yards. I said earlier, when it's 3rd and 2, we want to run the ball. You want a guy who wants the ball and says, I'm going to get you 2 yards. And we'll have great players up front and a good scheme for them to block. But ultimately, at times, that back's got to go get those yards, and that's what those kids have always done for us.
On the flip side, going back to your days at Indiana, you had wide receivers like James Hardy and Tandon Doss, who were incredibly productive with their respective quarterbacks. What are some of the things you like to do with the passing game?
We're going to find the best matchup we have, and certainly you mentioned those 2 players, and there's been other ones throughout the time of our offense with very good schemes that we're going to try to match them up the best way we can. Moving, if he's an outside receiver, Hardy was certainly a big body, but we would put him inside at times. Tandon Doss, we motioned all over the field, both guys who had great careers. And again, you look through the history of our offense and all our coaches. We got an unbelievable staff on offense. You got, a guy who's been a head coach, 2 guys who've been coordinators, and then Frisman who's played in the league and is getting going. So all of us have had good players at different places who've played well, and we're going to utilize our talent. We're going to find the best matchup we can find in the passing game. That's what we're going to do. And
there's so many ways to skin a cat on offense, just as we've seen over the years. There are a lot of different styles at the quarterback position. Some quarterbacks are mobile, can throw the ball. Some quarterbacks are pocket passers. Have you coached different types of quarterbacks, and has your system always been adaptable to their styles?
Our offense is going to be quarterback friendly, and that doesn't mean the back's not the most important, or the line, or the what. We're going to use our best players, but for offense to flourish, the quarterback's got to be comfortable. And when you look at it, we've had running quarterbacks the last couple of years in Northern Illinois. I was there for one of them, Chandler Harnish, threw for the 3,000, rushed it for, over almost 1,500, same following year in the same system. We've had pure drop back guys with Ben Chappell, and then actually Joel Stabby this year at Wisconsin before he got injured was leading the Big Ten in pass efficiency. Kellen Lewis was a runner. So we've had multiple quarterbacks who've done many things in our system. We're going to do what our players do well. That's what this offense will do, and we're going to play the best players. So if we have 3 or 4 running backs, we're going to find a way to get them on the field. 3 or 4 wideouts, they're going to play. But ultimately, balance is the key. We want to run it when we want to run it, and we're going to throw it when we have to throw it.
You come to a place in NC State where quarterbacks and receivers in particular have really flourished just over the last decade. You look at the quarterbacks that have played here at State. Phillip Rivers, now with the San Diego Chargers. Russell Wilson was here for 3 years. Everybody knows about Russell now. He's done so well with the Seattle Seahawks. Mike Glennon, the current quarterback's going on, probably a first-round draft pick. Wide receivers, Torrey Holt, NFL Hall of Famer, probably. Jericho Cotree's playing in the league. That's kind of part of the culture. Does that kind of help you?
It's exciting. I think to get to come to a place like this with the success that it has had, particularly on offense, is awesome. And again, we have good players on the team. We have previous players who have already reached out and are coming back and excited about this program doing well.
In the Big Ten championship game this past season, you were the offensive coordinator of Wisconsin, playing against Nebraska, and the Badgers hung 70 points on the Cornhuskers. How'd you go about doing that?
Players play, but it was a good night. That was a night that you certainly will always remember, and special for our players, and a good way to end, to win the Big Ten. This is about winning championships, and I think that's where you look at what they want to do anywhere you are, but certainly we're coming in here to compete for championships, and that was a fun night. Against anybody it's fun, but certainly a team with the history and tradition in Nebraska, that was a special night.
The players play, but the offensive coordinator must have had a pretty good night too.
It was a fun night to call plays.
Matt Canada, new offensive coordinator at NC State.